Hey friend, welcome back to the channel. If you're new, my name is Megan from Gray Arrow Tarot, and today we are going to look at the energy of your soulmate. And before we dive into this, I just want to talk for a quick minute so you can get the most out of this reading. Now, my intention for this is that most of you watching, the energy we're going to be tapping into is a romantic soulmate, because I think that's what most of you probably clicked this video for. However, soulmates are more complex than that. There can be platonic soulmates, there can be familial soulmates. Like, it doesn't have to be contained to romantic partnership. So, for some of you watching this, you might find that this is actually a friendship that wants to come in for you, or a deeper family connection that wants to come in for you. So, there could be different types of soulmates that we explore here. Now, again, 90% of you, I do believe this is going to be a romantic partner that we're looking at. But for some of you, if you come into it, like, let's just say you're with a romantic partner and you know this is your person, if you pick a pile and it's not matching your person's energy, then it's probably not about them. I just want to throw that out there for some of you. But again, for most of you, I do think this is a romantic partner. This is the energy that will be most supportive to you in your life and help you to become the best version of you. It's also energy that's very complementary to your energy. We might see where this energy comes from and how this person uses their energy, but I want to keep this a little bit more open, a little bit more abstract to just the energy they embody. Okay? So when you're ready, you can go ahead and choose your group. This is pile number 1. This is pile number 2. This is pile number 3, and this is pile number 4. As always, you cannot choose wrong. Don't overthink it. Whatever pile is pulling you, whatever pile is calling you, has at least one message for you there. But as always, this is a general reading, so you do need to use your intuition. You do need to be discerning about what messages are for you and what messages are for someone else. But when you're ready, you can go ahead and choose your group. You'll find the timestamps in the description box below. And if you'd like, you can sit with the cards for a little bit longer. You can go ahead and pause the video here. But when you're ready, I will see you at your reading. Hey, Pal One, welcome to your reading. Let's get the energy of your soulmate. Let's see, what is the energy of pile number 1's soulmate? Cards are weird. They're kind of like popping. It's like they kind of want to come out and they change their minds and fall back in. I see we have 3 fall out for you. Let's get one more. Here we go. Let's see. I'm not sure which way this one wants to go. We'll take it that way. Okay. So for pile number 1, first we've got the Queen of Swords. The 8 of Swords reversed. The 10 of Swords reversed. The 7 of Pentacles reversed. And the Tower. Very interesting. Okay, so first of all, I feel like because this person has more reversals than uprights, I feel like this person has a little bit more of an introverted energy. So, now they have some upright cards, so they're not like the total like introvert stay in all the time, but I do think they are predominantly introverted. They enjoy staying in more than going out, and spending time with themselves. But also I feel like this will also extend to you. That's the thing about introverts, you know, and I say this as an introvert, we do enjoy our people. So as much as we need time to recharge, we need and enjoy time to ourselves, we also really enjoy seeing our people and spending time with our people. And I feel like that's kind of your person's energy, that they have a very cozy vibe to them, very grounded energy, very honest energy with all of these swords coming up. I feel like their energy is very honest. They are a very honest person. And it's something you can tell. You know how you can typically kind of, like, there's a vibe if someone isn't being completely honest with you? Their vibe will read very honest. And I feel like you will be able to pick up on that pretty quickly. But let's get into this more card by card. So here with the Queen of Swords coming up, this is somebody who knows their truth and they're not afraid to speak it. Their energy is just very, again, there's like this very honest energy. Honest doesn't mean being an asshole though. Like that's a different side of the honest coin. Especially if we have the Queen of Swords here. Because the thing about the Queen of Swords, I don't like how she gets painted a lot of times, that she's kind of this cold character. To me, that's reversed energy. That's Queen of Swords reversed energy, where she can sometimes be cold, depending on the interpretation. But when she's upright, she does lean more into honesty. She leans into truth, and she's not afraid to express her truth, but she does it with as much kindness as possible. This is somebody who is also very much in touch with their intuition. It's just that that's not what leads them most of the time. They are a little bit more led by their brain, but more than anything, their honesty. So even if it's like, they might go where their heart is guiding them to, but it's because being honest is completely important to them. So I feel like even when there might be times for this person where like their brain might want to overrule their heart, where like things seem really logical. And I think they are, again, like I do think there's a lot of logic in this person, but when it comes down to it, their truth is what's going to win out. So because of that, they will lean into their heart. They will let their heart guide them when it really comes down to it. And it's also interesting, like the way that we have this queen, she's really gesturing to the right here, which for me is forward motion. So I do think this is somebody who really moves forward. There's like a momentum about their energy. As much as they are very cozy and introverted, they're not static. You know, I feel like they do have things going on. They do have projects happening, but I don't think it's very chaotic. I think overall it's like they just have this steady momentum to them. There's a steadiness about them and a steadiness in the way they move through the world and the way they move things forward. Now here with the Eight of Swords reversed, I do feel like this is somebody who we talked about how they are like very logical. I do think they also though might be prone to overthinking some things. And there's almost might be times where like, kind of, you know, this energy where like you're talking to somebody and they're kind of like, yeah, like they're not giving you a lot of feedback, but it's because they're processing things deeply. And I do feel like this person might be prone to over-processing, overthinking sometimes. So I think that's something that they actually like, they're aware of this though. I think it's something they've worked on. I'm getting like they're big journalers. As a result, like I think they know it's important for them to move their thoughts through them so that they aren't ruminating, so they aren't overthinking so much. But I do think that is one thing about them, that they can sometimes be a little too in their head. They can overthink a little too much, and it can make them feel like they are trapped and confined. And that's why like journaling and maybe even talking things out might be really important to them. But I feel like with their energy, they're not inclined to do that because I don't think they've always had a receptive audience, like someone who can just hear them and let them talk things through. Like I feel like they're the kind of person that when it's important for them to talk things through, they don't necessarily need your feedback. They just need to verbalize what's going on in their head, and that helps them process and move through their thoughts so they are not so hooked in overthinking. Because I think if they get hooked in overthinking, it can lead to anxiety for them. But at the same time, again, they're aware of this, so they kind of know how to handle it. Overall, like I'm getting a more grounded energy from them across the board, but I do think they have moments of anxiety, moments of overthinking. And when that happens, it is just important for them to externalize those thoughts. Now, with this 10 of Swords reversed, I feel like this is somebody who's actually really good at ending cycles. Because when the 10 of Swords is upright, this can speak to a character who has been betrayed or has had a really tough time. Like things are not going well. It feels like they just keep getting hit like one by one by one, like slowly being worn down. I feel like the 10 of Swords coming up in the reverse here, I feel like they don't let that happen. Like they're not going to stay in a situation long enough to get hit 10 times. When things start to deteriorate, like, you know, this isn't to say they're a cut and run type of person. That's not their energy. Again, there's a stability about them and a consistency that makes me think they stick around. Like they will try to make things work, but once it becomes clear to them that things aren't working, they're done. like that's when they do, that's again like where this Queen of Swords energy comes out. They're not going to entertain bullshit, basically. Like they will cut ties, they will move on. They will do everything they can to maintain a situation, especially if it's valuable to them. But when it becomes very clear to them that this just isn't going to work out, they're not going to stick around. They're not going to put themselves through that. Like there's an element of self-respect here that I think is really admirable. They do have a deep sense of self-respect, and they're not going to keep putting themselves in a situation or repeatedly in situations where they are not being respected and where they feel like that people are intentionally or unintentionally harming them and their well-being and their path in life. And I feel like also like they're going to be a good person for you, because again, like their energy is about they are consistent, they are steady, they are interested in like long-term meaningful connections. However, if it doesn't, like if they're not getting that, if they're not getting a return on their energy, they're done. So I feel like that might be really good for you in other relationships where like if you are someone who has a hard time, and I'm getting that some of you are, if you have a hard time ending things out of loyalty or commitment or just time investment, they're going to be able to really support you through that. And they're going to be able to kind of, they have a good gauge of like when it's time to go. And they're going to be able to help you talk through those situations and make those types of choices and be really supportive if and when those instances come up in your life. Now with the Seven of Pentacles reversed, okay, so this is interesting because this is where I am getting a little bit of push and pull energy. On the one hand, I think they can be very patient, but on the flip side, I also think there are instances where they can be very impatient. Like with this Seven of Pentacles, I'm actually getting that when it really matters, like especially because this is reversed, that tends to be more internalized energy. So like if there is something that they are committing to, if there is something that they are really building, like a relationship, like a business, things that they know will take a lot of time, energy, nurturing, they are willing to do that work. They are willing to be very intentional and let things grow at the pace that they need. Whether it's fast or slow, whatever it is, they are here for the long game. However, I also think they have a little bit of an impatient streak when it comes to like day-to-day stuff. So like if there is something that they feel like they should be able to do with a push of a button, if it takes longer, you're going to start to see like a little bit of like, just again, like this impatience, almost like toddler frustration is kind of the energy I'm getting. And it's not just that they are a toddler. It's just like their inner child comes out with like, no, I want it now type of energy. And it's with stuff you wouldn't expect. Because again, I feel like they are very patient and very steady. But when it comes to just things that they feel like should not be taking this long, they just get this like, again, it's like an inner child energy that comes out. And it's almost, honestly, it's coming through to me as kind of endearing. So if it doesn't sound like it right now, I feel like it's the kind of thing like when you're in a friendship or a relationship with somebody, when you see it, it's kind of like, okay, like, yes, like it's a funny thing when you know the person, especially because they are so patient in so many other areas of their life. Now with this Tower, this is actually giving me a really interesting message. I kind of feel like when you connect to this person, it's probably going to be after a Tower moment for them. So after they have closed a major chapter, when things have kind of like, I do feel like there is like a little bit of a turbulent ending for them has happened. They're beyond it, I believe, by the time you come in, but it's still pretty fresh. And this could be a lot of different things. It could be ending an old relationship. It could be some kind of like work or career situation. It really could be anything, but there is some kind of big thing in their life that really threw them through a loop. They're on the other side of it, but I also feel like this is the thing I think is really interesting about this person. Their energy is very growth mindset oriented. So for them, they really see this experience as a lesson. And there are things that they are able to carry into their life as a result of what happened and into your connection that's going to be really valuable. And it's almost like even though this time was very unstable for them, it made them even more grounded. It made them even more sure of themselves. I think to a degree they handle tower moments pretty well. Like they aren't prone to panic. I don't really get panic energy from them. So I feel like there's just this energy of like, yes, they might be thrown through a loop when it happens, like initially, but they're able to be like, okay, this is happening. Here's what I'm going to do about it, or here's what needs to be done about this situation. And then even like immediately after, it's like, okay, like what can I learn from this? And I'm not sure if they always think about it in those terms, but that's just their natural process, that when things happen, even if they get rocked by them, they don't get thrown down. They don't get like suffocated by them. They're really able to be like in the moment, feel it, deal with it, move through it, and get the lesson as a result. Which again, I feel like makes them a really steady person to have. And then even like if you are going through a tower moment, they're a great support. Like I feel like that's the other piece of this is they are very, very supportive of other people's tower moments. They are who you want in your corner if you are going through any kind of upheaval. So let's see what else we have about this particular soulmate. The golden children, inner child, tenderness, innocence, rare gifts. Yeah, this inner child, that was coming through with this Seven of Pentacles. And I do think there is more to it than just like the impatience we talked about. I do think they actually have a really playful side. I think they can actually really like bring out a little bit of innocence, and you wouldn't expect it because I do feel like they're the kind of person that gives a much more serious exterior. So it's like, I feel like once you get to know them and they really get comfortable with you, their energy can get very playful. It's very fun. Trust the timing. Again, this speaks to their patience. This really does speak to the patience. Trust on the wave you came on. Time is not running out. This is not somebody who moves around frantically. They really believe they have all the time in the world and that things will come together for them when they're meant to, and that if they just put the time and energy into what really matters, everything's going to work out. Let's see what else we have for them. What else can you tell us about the energy of... Oh, all right, that's a lot. We're going to take the one that fell out alone. First, we have strength. Again, this really, I feel like is echoing that tower energy we talked about. This is a very strong person. And I'm really getting more internal strength than external, though they might be physically strong too. But for me, I feel like the defining characteristic, the defining strength that we're talking about, it is their inner strength. It's their ability to withstand obstacles and to be a source of strength for others when trying times happen. This just really feels like a very grounded person. Like I love the way this animal is really looking, this big cat. I'm not sure if it's a tiger or something else. I think we'll go with tiger. That is like looking dead on, like ready to face problems. That is this person's energy. They don't run from problems. And I feel like this is just as true for like big life practical things as it is for relationship issues or internal conflicts. Like if there's something that's not okay within your connection, they're going to want to talk about it. They're going to want to know like what they can do differently. And they will also want to express to you if there's something that's not working for them. And I don't feel like it's ever like they don't have attack energy. I feel like they really do know how to approach situations with like as much kindness and grace as possible. And oh my gosh, more big cats. Here we've got courage. So yeah, again, I do think they are like, I feel like the strength and courage really goes hand in hand. They're really willing to be courageous, to take big risks. And I do feel like this is like, again, you wouldn't expect it because they seem so unassuming on the outside, but they do have a very courageous heart. They're willing to go after what they want and be very direct about it. Again, we have this like big cat looking dead on. So there is just a lot of really courageous energy. And, you know, researchers, I got this from Brene Brown. She talks about it in her Netflix special. But researchers can measure how vulnerable you're able to be by how courageous you're willing to be. So if you have a very courageous person, they're also typically a very vulnerable person. They're willing to do vulnerable conversations, vulnerable acts, that kind of stuff, which is always really good for any kind of deep and meaningful connection. Okay, last messages for group number 1 on the energy of their soulmate. next messages for group number 1. Okay, first we have caution. Tread softly as not to disturb the woodland floor. I feel like this is kind of their energy. Like, as much as they are courageous, again, they don't have frantic energy. They're not bulldozers. They do tread cautiously, but they steadily move forward, which I think, again, it just feels like a very like safe and grounded energy. Next, we have renew. Nature continuously renews itself year after year. I do feel like, again, like this grounded energy, I feel like, one, they aren't afraid to recognize when they need to renew themselves, when they need to refresh, but also I feel like their energy makes it really easy for other people to renew themselves in their company. They are able to create a space where like you can let your guard down, you can just be you. They're not a judgmental energy, so it makes it really easy for you to just show up authentically. Growth. Again, this we've talked about, like they are a growth mindset type of person. So they're going to be very supportive of your growth. They're very into their own growth. Like they're the kind of person that like if you had met them, like even I feel like 3 years ago, you wouldn't recognize them. You might recognize their energy, like their spirit, their soul, but if you knew who they were in the world, the way they showed up in the world, you would not recognize them based on who they are today because they are so invested in growth. And transform again. Yeah, they are willing to change. They are willing to transform. They aren't going to stay in the same place and be the same person. And again, they're really going to support that in you. They're going to be a safe place for you to try new things, for you to lean into your soul's calling because they really see the value in that. They see the value in, yes, being committed, but also recognizing when your soul is calling you to change and grow and following that impulse and following that urge. And it creates such a beautiful place for both of you to bloom in this connection, which I really love for you. But on that note, pile number 1, I'm going to end this reading here. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If this reading resonated, I would love to know how in the comments. And if you enjoyed this reading, please give the video a like and subscribe to the channel. I would love to have you in future videos. Also, if you would like a personalized experience, I do have personal readings available. I'm hoping by the time this video goes up, my new website will be live. It will be linked below. If not, it will be coming very, very soon and I will update the link. But you can always find personal readings on my website linked below. And if that's not right for you, but you are interested in supporting the channel, there is a donation link below. Donations are never expected, but always appreciated. And it all goes to support the growth of the channel. But thank you so much for being here. I hope you're having a wonderful day or night wherever you are in the world. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye. Hey, Pal 2. Welcome to your reading. Let's take a look at your soulmate's energy. So we've got 3 cards that came out for you very quickly. What else do we have for you? Pile number 2. One flipped over. Let's see if we can get one more. We got a bunch more. We'll take the top card. Let's take a look. All right, first up, we have strength. And next, we have the 6 of Cups, followed by the 7 of Cups, the 10 of Swords, and the 2 of Wands. Okay, so the fact that we have all of these cards coming out in the upright, I am kind of using that as a indicator for like introversion, extroversion in this particular reading. So I do feel like your person, your soulmate here, is much more of an extrovert. However, so like that can either really jive with you. If you are also much more of an extrovert, you will really enjoy doing things together, going out, catching up. On the other hand, I feel like if you are more of an introvert, you're going to get complementary energies. Like this is a soulmate. So this isn't someone who's going to force you to be out more than you really want to be out. It's almost like the energy of like, I'm kind of getting with this person. Like if you are more introverted, it's like you'll want to go out with this person because they'll do all of like the extroverting for you. So like they'll talk to the people you don't want to talk to. They'll take care of like the dealing with the world so you can actually just enjoy the experience. And because they're your soulmate, like they're going to be able to really see when you've hit your peak, and they're going to do, like, they're going to use their extroversion to your advantage, and to your I'm almost getting like this protective energy, like, okay, you've had enough, like I will take the brunt of the people, I'll get you to the car, like that kind of stuff, where they're really going to kind of almost be your advocate when your social battery is drained. And it's also kind of this energy where I feel like too, especially if this is a more romantic relationship, this is where I feel like it's actually will work really well, because like they'll go out with their friends at times and leave you alone in the house. So you have that nice balance of like, they're going to go out and extrovert with other people, which gives you time to stay in and introvert by yourself. So I'm getting just a real sense of like, them really being like, there's an energy of like showing up for you, really showing up for you. And I think that's really, really beautiful. So also I'm noticing we've got yellow popping off. So I do feel like this is somebody who's very connected to their personal power. This is someone who has a good understanding of just how much power they have and how they can use it for good. So I feel like, and this isn't necessarily going to be your person, this is just an example of the energy, but like if they're somebody who has a good deal of money, they recognize the power that comes with that, and they want to use it to help people. They want to use it to pay it forward. Like there's that type of energy. They have a very generous energy with their personal power. So let's dive in now more concretely, card by card. With the Strength card coming up, I love that we have like, okay, this person I feel like really is like almost like a walking juxtaposition, because I do feel like with all this extroverted energy, and even with the Strength card coming up, we talked about like, I do feel like they have a good connection to their personal power. And I think they have a good sense of their power. I do think they are a powerful person. Now, where exactly their power lives is going to vary based on your person. For some of them, like it is like they have a very powerful career, they're very influential in society, in the world, etc. For others, it is more like they have this really commanding presence. They could be more of a physical power and strength. It's going to vary from person to person, but they are a very powerful person and they are aware of it. And the fact that we have the Strength card being depicted as a lamb, I feel like it's like they are aware of how powerful their identity is, that as a person, they actively work to soften themselves. Like they have this very empathetic core that comes through. So if there's ever a situation where like, you know, maybe they realize that like, you know, let's just stick with this as somebody who has money. If they realize like they might try to be generous with their money if there's a problem. And if that's not actually enough, if it's something else that's needed, they're going to listen. Like they're going to say, okay, tell me, like, what can I do? What's really the problem? Like they want to understand, and they have a very strong empathic capability that they're able to get it. So it really is like their strength. It's not just in the power they hold. It's in their ability to listen, to empathize, and then use their power to actually meet the moment, which I absolutely, absolutely love. The Six of Cups. What I got when this came out was that this person has a very healing energy. And I don't think they know it. Like, I don't feel like this is somebody who is concretely a healer in any sense. They might be, but I feel like it's more of they just have a very healing energy. It's this empathic quality that comes through, that they're going to create a space for you to heal what needs to be healed. And it's good. It might be stuff that you are aware of, but also I feel like there's just a level of safety with them. There's a deep safetiness that comes out with their energy. And I feel like that might make something surface in you that need to be healed. This isn't to alarm you. It's really meant to be supportive. And I just kind of had this energy of like, they got your back, but especially because with the Six of Cups, the Six of Cups tends to be reflective, nostalgic, looking back on childhood. So I do think if there is anything from your childhood that has kind of left a mark on you, big or small, they're actually going to be a very safe place for you to heal that in one form or another. Now with the Seven of Cups, the fact that the Seven of Cups is being depicted with a dog, this is what really gives me a loyalty energy, that I just feel like this is somebody who is very loyal. This is somebody who is like, this person just has ride or die energy to me. And again, it's like they want to help you. They want to use any power and authority they have to have your back, to be your faithful companion. I just feel like this person really thrives on being there for you and all of their people, but like this is soulmate energy, right? So like being there for you, I feel like is probably going to be one of their top priorities. I also feel like with this energy, so the Seven of Cups always speaks to having lots of choices. And with this person, I feel like they actually begin, I'm just getting such a sense of power from them. I do feel like they have a lot of options, like in life, in pretty much all areas of their life. I feel like they can really choose their own path. But I think it's important for you to know they're choosing you. Like you are their number one priority. Again, there's just this energy of like really wanting to show up for you. And if something material, especially if something material, it's like between you and something material, they're picking you. Because nothing in these cups can compare to on their, as far as they're concerned, within their priorities. Like that is their priority, is you. Now with the Ten of Swords, again, this is kind of what was giving me like the more protector energy. With all the cards we have here, perhaps like getting ahead of myself. Let me dial it back a second. So with this Ten of Swords, we have this character who is like feeling a little bit trapped, a little bit confined. The swords seem to be containing it. It's almost like it wants to get to this flower because we have this bee imagery here, but it just can't. Like it's feeling like it's too confined. It can't move. There may have been a time that your person felt this way, and that could have been part of what developed such an empathetic core. But more than anything, I do feel like this person hates to see people in this position. Like they hate to see people feeling trapped. They hate to see people feeling confined. There's somebody that like if they hear of a bad story on the news, they like, again, like I do feel like this person might have a certain amount of wealth, but even if it's not wealth, they will be on the phone the next day trying to find out how they can use their power to help people, how they can help the person in this situation. So anytime there is a sense of confinement, like this is, I'm getting a very action-oriented person here. It is a how can I help? How can I help? I have this power. I have this influence. How can I help? How can I use it for good? How can I use it to set people free? This person just has like, I am kind of getting like heart of gold energy. And it's just, it feels very expansive and very, not just expansive for you, which I think it is, but also just expansive for the world. It feels very supportive of humanity. Now, this is very interesting with the Two of Wands. So there's a couple things I'm getting here. One, I do feel like this person loves making plans. They love having things to look forward to. So I feel like they will really enjoy making plans with you. Also, like it's interesting that we have this character who is holding a wand here with a lock and holding a wand with the key. So I feel like this person, and you notice they're looking at the lock, but they have the key. And I kind of feel like this is how this person kind of approaches the world. Like, yes, there's a problem. There's a locked door right there, but I know I've got the key in me. Like, I know I can figure this out. They have a very strong self-confidence and they are a very good problem solver. Like, they're not overstating it when they say, I know that I have the key in me. They really can solve almost any problem. And it's not just because they have this power and influence. It's like they have the power and influence because they're good at solving problems. Like, that's how they were able to really rise up in life. So they have just a very strong influential energy, but also a very confident energy. They believe in themselves. Like they're somebody who does well with responsibility because they have all the confidence in the world that they can handle it. All right, let's get some oracle cards on here. What else do we need to know about this person and their energy? Geez, that's like half the deck. All right, hang on. All right, we'll take the top one. Bunch fell on the floor. Okay, so first up we have lifting the veil, questioning everything, anything unaligned must go. Okay, so I'm kind of getting two messages with this. I almost feel like for you, this I feel like is a bigger message for you right now, that especially if this person is not currently in your life, this is a message for you that to bring this energy in, I feel like this person would be really supportive of you. But to actually bring this energy in, you first have to look at yourself and your current life. What is not aligned? Like, you are being challenged to lift the veil. Lift the veil of society, lift the veil of perfection. See what is not aligned. Anything unaligned must go. Because the deeper you move into alignment, the better this person is going to be able to show up for you. But I also feel like what I'm getting with this is question everything. I feel like going back to this like empathic nature and tying this back to the energy of your soulmate here, I feel like this person really does question everything. Like, they want to understand things. They are willing to have their illusion of the world shattered, their illusion of a situation shattered, their illusion of a person shattered, if it means understanding reality and understanding truth. They are really willing to lean into that. Big picture thinking. Yeah, I feel like that kind of lines up with this this planning energy that we were talking about here, and the lock and key energy. They want to see the big picture. And honestly, even like this empathic nature, it's like they think they understand the problem, but they want to see the big picture. They want to see all of the moving parts. They are not afraid to zoom in and not afraid to zoom out. And they really want to understand and see how they can influence the big picture of the world. It's really important to them that they leave a positive impact on the world and on the lives of the people that they interact with and touch. What else do we have on the energy of pile number 2's soulmate? Let's get one more. Of course, again, half the deck. This person has a lot to say. Okay, so since we have like 2 piles here, I'm going to take the top card for each pile. All right, first up we have defend. Yeah, I definitely am feeling that with this person. Like, this person has a very protective energy. They are very invested in defending people. They're very invested in offering the support they can and standing up for the things that really matter to them. Yeah, and I feel like this is also healthy. Like, there isn't a controlling element to this. Like, this is very much protective and defending. Communicate. Yes, this person is an excellent communicator. They have very open communication energy. It goes back to that questions, like, and they really want to learn. They really want to understand. They want to understand what's going on. They want to understand the big picture of a situation. They want to talk things through. You know, like, I think that can be a misconception. Like, because this person is extroverted, you might think they're not into that kind of conversation. But extroverts can be, and this person absolutely is. Memory. Okay, so I'm getting 2 messages with this. One, it's totally backing up the 6 of Cups, that it's like this person gives you a safe place to remember everything. Fun stuff and hard stuff. This person gives you a safe place to talk, to share, to dig into that. I also feel like they have a really good memory. So if you bring something up, like, oh, I would really love to go to this place or do this thing, they kind of file that away. And then when you least expect it, you'll find out you're doing this thing. Like, they've arranged it. They've taken initiative. They put something together for you to make it happen, which is really fun. And again, really supportive. All right, let's get some last messages for you. Group number 2. Let's see, we have 2 here. Let's get 1 or 2 more. 1 more. Okay. All right, first up, we have hope. I feel like this person this person really does have like a hopeful energy about them. They always believe and hope things can get better, and they believe and hope they can be part of the solution. I think they are very optimistic about people. Like, as much as I feel like they're very aware of the problems with society and humanity. That's why they do so much to help where they can. But it's because they always hope we can be better. They have the hope of a better future. They have the hope, a very optimistic outlook on life. And that they believe if we keep showing up and keep trying, we can create a better world. And we've got friends. Yeah, I feel like this is somebody who is like kind of friends with everyone. Like that's where one downside to going out with them is that they either will probably run into someone who they are friendly with, or they will become friends with somebody that they're just standing next to. Like they're not afraid to strike up a conversation with somebody and like become friends with strangers very, very quickly. Yeah, they have a very open and friendly demeanor about them. And again, it goes back to this empathic nature that they have. They're interested in understanding people, and they can really get to the heart of what's going on for someone and make them feel really comfortable, which is how they get to kind of a deeper connection on a pretty quick level. And also, like, they have the same energy, I think, with you. Like, you might find like you get along with them really well, really quickly. But even though they might be good at doing this with a lot of people, it's going to feel different for them when it comes to you. Because again, there's that soulmate energy there. They are going to feel really connected to you in a very unique way. Reconnect. Again, connection is such a big thing for them. And I feel like this is where I feel like they will prioritize your connection. So you're never going to be in a stretch where like you haven't heard from them for weeks. Or, I mean, weeks if it's a friendship, I was thinking, but like if it's a relationship, or it's days, like you're never going to be in a situation where you haven't heard from them. It's going to be more like they are constantly looking to reconnect with you. Or let's just say like they do have to go away on a business trip, or they are really busy with something for a stretch of time. Afterwards, they're going to make the time to reconnect with you. They're really going to make the time to tap in, to connect, to honor this connection and really nurture it, because I do think they value it deeply and they will show up for you. So even if things get busy for them, like you're never going to have to doubt where you stand. They're not the kind that's going to ghost you. They're not the type that's going to just disappear from your life. They are going to constantly be looking to reconnect and really nurture something meaningful and long-term. And on that note, pile number 2, I'm going to leave this reading here. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If this reading resonated, I would love to know how in the comments. And if you enjoyed this reading, please give the video a like and subscribe to the channel. I would love to have you in future videos. If you would like a more personalized experience, I do offer personal readings. You can find those linked below on hopefully my new website. I'm hoping it is up and live by the time this video goes live. If not, it'll be coming up very soon. And I will update the link when that happens. But you can definitely find that there. Also check out my site, see what else I have to offer. And if a reading is not right for you, but you would like to support the channel, I do have a donation link below. Donations are never expected, but always appreciated. And it all goes into supporting the growth of the channel. But thank you so much for being here. I hope you're having a wonderful day or night wherever you are in the world. And I hope to see you in the next one. Hey Pile 3, welcome to your reading. Let's get a look at the energy of your person. All right, we have one fallout for you already. The energy of your soulmate, more specifically, not just your person, your soulmate here. Did another one flip over? No, just the one. Okay, but I feel like this one wants to be here. We'll take these 2. And we had one more flip over. Okay. All right, let's see what we've got for you. First up, we have the 4 of Crystals, which is the 4 of Wands, followed by the 8 of Crystals reversed, followed by the Devil reversed, followed by the 8 of Blades reversed, followed by the King of Pentacles reversed. Okay. So one thing I've been doing with these readings is I'm using the uprights and reversals to kind of indicate their like introverted versus extroverted energy. So it looks like this person, because we have more reversals, this is more internalized energy. So they are a little bit more of an introvert. They do have a little bit of extrovert energy. Like they're not like total hermit mode all the time. They do enjoy going out from time to time, but they get much more joy and peace from staying in. This, of course, does not mean they want to be alone all the time. Introverts get a lot of joy and peace from staying in with their people. So I feel like your person is really going to enjoy spending quality time with you. And again, this doesn't mean they won't go out with you if you want to and go out and do things. It's just like, this is really their preference. And I feel like because of this, like deep, meaningful communication and conversation is going to be really important to this person. And also, like, I'm kind of getting like slow and steady. Like, there is a need for them to live their life a little bit more intentionally. I do feel like they might have some heavier stuff in their past, but I do believe it's behind them by the time you come together. I don't think you necessarily knew them through the hardship, though it's possible you did. But I think for most of you, you meet them after the fact. And it's because they've gone through the hardship that their soul has evolved to the point that they can really be what you would need. And that they can show up in any kind of relationship and be present and supportive, a supportive person in that way. But let's go ahead and get into things more specifically. So first, we have this Four of Crystals or Four of Wands. I love the Four of Wands. I think most readers do. It's such an uplifting card. And I feel like, the thing for me, the Four of Wands, like it's a card of celebration. So I do feel like you might have a lot to celebrate together and be really good at celebrating your wins together. Like this person, I feel like they understand the importance of celebrating success and celebrating the small things. So I think they might be really into celebrating your wins. Like if you do something and it feels small to you, and maybe it is small, but to them, it's still worth celebrating. And I think they're going to really bring that energy into the relationship and into the connection that like you celebrate wins. Big or small, you celebrate wins. Now for me, one of my favorite things about the Four of Crystals or Four of Wands is that it always to me has this sense of safety and stability. So again, I feel like this person may have gone through some stuff prior to you meeting, but by the time you meet, they are very grounded. They are very safe. It's like they have put their like stake in the ground. Like they are not moving. And it doesn't mean that they're being stubborn. I'm talking about like from a stability standpoint. Like if you were to pitch a tent on the stakes that they have planted, that tent's not going anywhere. But I also think it's really interesting the way we have this vine weaving around these wands here. And it's giving me this like this idea of like they've kind of like they've grown a beautiful life for themselves. And it's happened slowly and intricately, but they also have this home base. Like they always come back to their home base. So no matter how far they might stray or how like I'm losing the word here, but it's like how much they might grow, I guess, like externally, how much they might be putting time and energy into other things, they always are able to come back to their home base. They know what's important, and it's this grounded, stable nature that they've created for themselves. So if things ever start to get a little too big for them, or they start to feel a little too like unstable, they know how to be like, okay, this is a little too much right now. I need to come back to my home base. I need to come back to the stability that I've created for myself. And they're really able to do that really easily. And it gives them a very grounded presence. It gives them a really safe and stable energy. Now with the Eight of Crystals reversed, so the Eight of Wands is typically when it comes out upright, it is a card of motion and action. Quick motion. It's things happening very quickly. And like I mentioned, I feel like this person with this reversal, I feel like they are not a very quick moving person. I feel like are much more slow and steady wins the race. I feel like they have had things happen quickly in the past, and it was almost overwhelming for them. And it's like, I guess really what it's coming down to is like they're not instant gratification type of people, because I think they used to chase that, or they know people who did, and it just didn't feel stable. Like stability, I think, is really important for them. Like that's why they've created this stability for themselves, is because I think there are ways in the past that they didn't have it. Perhaps growing up, they didn't have it. So it's become important for them to have stability in their life, to have consistency in their life. They would rather move slowly and consistently than quickly and like almost like lightning strike energy. Like that's not, they don't like that kind of movement. And I think because it brings up old energies for them that they have left behind. So this is really a person who values intention, who values doing things right, and showing up. Again, intention just keeps coming up, showing up intentionally. So they're not going to rush the process. This doesn't mean like they're going to delay the process. It just means they're not going to rush it. Now with the devil reversed here, this is what's giving me the impression that they may have gone through some things in their past. The devil can speak to the things that kind of keep us caged in. When the devil's upright, it can speak to anything that keeps us from really growing. And like, just looking at this upright for a second. So like the energy of the devil, when the devil is upright, it can be the things that keep us, again, it's things that keep us caged in, things that keep us like grounded down in a bad way, like anchored, and it's in a way that we can't fly, that we can't spread our wings and fly. Which can be like alcohol addiction, any type of vices that we use to kind of escape reality instead of deal with reality. And there may have been some of that in this person's past, either them doing these things directly or being negatively impacted by them because of someone in their family or something like that. But because this card is showing up in the reverse, I feel like that is behind them when you meet them. So by the time you two come into your connection, they have overcome the struggle. So like, for instance, let's just say they did have an alcohol problem. They're in recovery by this point and like stably in recovery. It really is something that's behind them. Like, I don't see that there's like a real issue with it. I mean, any more than like you kind of always have to carry that, but it's not something that's like a constant threat to upheaval. Having a hard time with words with this group. I don't know why. There's not this constant threat of upheaval because of this. They know how to manage it. They know how to live with it. So whatever it is in their past, like I really do have this energy with this reversal of overcoming, and it's made them stronger. I feel like they actually have a strong sense of self-trust because they had to rebuild it brick by brick, because there was a time when they didn't. There was a time when they didn't know if they could always make things happen for themselves, if they could actually navigate life. But because they have, and because I think there have been people who really supported them, and that has made them really interested in paying that forward. If they can be a source of support for somebody, they badly want to be it. Because the people who have supported them, who showed up for them when they were at their worst, literally changed their life. So showing up for you is going to be crucial to them. Especially because I feel like there's this energy of like, I feel like you see them beyond this thing where a lot of people in their life may only see them for this thing. And you seeing more of them is going to help them rise into that even deeper. It's going to help them rise into like really their truer self. Now with the 8 of Blades here, now also too, I didn't notice this at first, we have 2 8s. So that is like really bringing things into fruition. That's things coming together. A little bit of, what's the word? I'm blanking on the word, but it's this energy of, again, like just like you've reached a level where like you have succeeded. There's a level of mastery with the 8s. So I think again, like I feel like especially with these reversals, they have mastered themselves at this point. They really have a deep mastery of themselves. They know themselves exceedingly well. And with this 8 of Blades coming up in reverse, I feel like this is somebody, again, who like, I feel like they have in the past been kind of trapped in their mind, trapped by the limitations of their mind. But I feel like there's a real sense of liberation with this person, with the soulmate energy, that they have really freed themselves. So they do believe anything's possible. Like they have overcome things that I think, again, were very difficult to overcome. And it has showed them they can overcome anything. So they're not afraid of life. Like, I don't think they're reckless people. Again, safety and stability is really important to them, but they're not afraid of bad things happening. They don't live their life in fear because they really believe they can handle anything that comes their way. And that kind of energy feels really stable to be around. And I feel like it's going to feel really good for you to be around because they will be able to, like, they bring out more of the present moment. They help you stay more in the present moment. They're not somebody who worries about the future. Not to say they don't care about the future. They don't have like momentum and plans for the future, but they don't sit and worry about it. They really just take it one day at a time. And I think they found a real sense of liberation there. And there's something really powerful in that I think they bring into this connection. Now, lastly here, we have the King of Pentacles, and this reversal is really speaking to me. So when the King of Pentacles is upright, it speaks to someone who's like at the top of their game, specifically career and financially. Like they are doing very well financially. They might be a business owner or CEO, and even if they're not, it's that kind of energy. Like that's what they bring to their career. That's what they bring to their life. They're also very generous with what they have, all of that kind of stuff. For this group, with this person, I feel like with this reversal that they have very clear priorities on what abundance feels like. And for them, I don't think it's like having all the money in the world. This doesn't mean they don't have money or that they're struggling. Like I do think they see the value in it. Because again, they've known struggle. So they're not looking to live in the struggle energy. But I also think they understand money is not the most important thing. Like money is not the be all end all. It's really about the people. It's about the connections. It's about safety and stability. And that's what they bring to this connection. They are not someone who is going to put you second because there's a financial opportunity on the table. Like they are not afraid to walk away from money, especially if it benefits the people they care most about. And especially if it would cost them their peace, it's too expensive. Like that is big energy here, is that safety, peace, stability, all of those are their priority for themselves and for their people. And they are very clear about that. And there's an energy too about them that I'm getting. Like it could be part of like the swords, the devil energy, but like there are some things about them that they're very cut and dry about. Like it's non-negotiable, and they're clear on their values, and it's like their well-being is a priority, your well-being is a priority, and anything that's a threat to that, they won't even entertain the notion of it. They're very clear on their values, and it's not something that can be negotiated. And that's not to say they will not negotiate anything. I think any relationship has an element of negotiation to it, but there are some things that are non-negotiable, and they're not negotiating who they are. They're not negotiating how they live, and they're not negotiating their peace and well-being. Let's see what else we have for group number 3. Did one just fall over? No. Oh, no, it did. It did fall over. I just saw it. Hold on. Or flip over. Got one. Let's get the second one. Go. 2 for you. Okay. First up, we have empathic starseed, energetic sovereignty, absorbing what's not yours. I feel like this person is very empathic, and that's something that I have heard about people who have like known deep struggle, including like addiction and that kind of stuff. They become very empathic because they have had their struggle. Like that's where struggle like can make you a more empathic person. I think that has happened to them, where they are very empathic. They are very aware of other people's energy and possible struggles. Like I think they give people the benefit of the doubt. It's not to say they're a doormat, but like they're more likely to think like, oh, that person may have done that mean thing because they're going through a hard time. And no, it's not okay, but I'm also not going to sit in anger about it. So I feel like they have just a very clear understanding that everyone's doing their best. And they're very willing to be as generous as they can with their assumptions of people. Next, we have the golden children, inner child tenderness, innocence, rare gift. I feel like this person, so especially with the energy we have here, with the things that have gone on for them, I feel like their inner child has not had a lot of time to play. And I'm wondering if this relationship might bring that out in them. If there's something about your energy that might bring out their inner child. Because honestly, I'm getting like this energy, their energy is pretty serious. And I'm not getting mean or cruel. It's just serious. It's not very playful. And yet we have this card coming out here. And I feel like it's like, I'm almost getting it's like they meet you in this connection and it really brings their soul back online. It lets their inner child come out and play. It lets there's a little bit more innocence come into their world. Like I'm wondering if perhaps you have not had as much struggle, or at least to the depths that they had, that you are able to stay in your light energy. Or even if you have had the struggle, you are able to stay much lighter and bring much more light into their life. And I think it's really going to, like, I'm almost imagining it's like meeting you for them is like walking through this door. It's like opening this door and this portal and them seeing like a new possibility in the world, that there's more to the world than they realized. See what else we've got for you. Pile number 3. All right, that's a lot. Take the top card. Okay, first we've got work. So I'm getting 2 things with this. One is I think this person has really done their work. Again, part of whatever happened to them with this devil, the healing they have had to do as a result has made them empathic. That's part of how all this works together, is they really have done their work. They are somebody who is not afraid of conversations. They're not afraid to do the introspection. They're not afraid to change, like to a degree. This is where, people are complex. Like earlier, one message that came through, I had said, like, this person doesn't negotiate who they are. And that was coming to me. That's something Brene Brown had said at one point, that like, you have to know who you are at your core. That doesn't mean you don't change and grow though. Like, I think that's an important distinction. That doesn't mean you don't change and grow. And this person is very much open to changing and growing while still being true to who they are. Trick. Okay, this is really interesting, because what I'm getting with this person, I think, might be a little mistrusting, especially even of you at first. And also, like, this connection, soulmate connections feel really good. They feel really safe. They feel like a really good match on both ends. So this person might think it's some kind of a trap. Like, they might be afraid to trust it at first. So that could almost go to, like, we talk about how they like to move through life a little bit more slowly. Don't be afraid if this connection is slower to unfold, because they have reason to, one, they value the slowness, but also I think they're kind of trying to feel in, like, is this too good to be true? They might feel like this connection is a little bit of a trap or a trick. And they will move through that. The more they get to know you, the more their soul really recognizes you and gets to connect, and the more they learn to listen to their soul in this instance. But just know, like, there might be a need to be patient with them and their energy, because they have to move through this process. They have to move slowly based on their experiences. Let's get some last messages for you, group number 3. Last messages for group number 3. What did we just say? Here we have forbearance. Do not be deterred by the thorns amidst the roses. Yeah, again, this person might be a little prickly when you first meet them. I said, we have this really serious energy coming from them, and moving slow is really important to them. So if you are feeling like, especially if you're leaning into this as more of a romantic possibility, if you feel like they might not be interested in you, like when you talk to them, it's good, but then maybe you don't hear from them that much in between, it's because they're moving through a process. They are moving through a lot within themselves. They need to go slow and intentional. Now, if you do need more communication, it's okay for you to ask for that. I'm not saying you should always cater to everybody else's need or to this person's needs, but don't be thrown off if they need to go slowly, or if they seem like skeptical of this connection at first. It's because it feels too good to be true for them, and they are afraid to let their guard down until it really feels safe for them to do that. So the universe is asking you, I think their higher self is coming through to ask you to be a little bit more patient with them. Idle hours. Take some time out to lie on the emerald grass. Yeah, I feel like this person really needs that, like time to just kind of chill with no purpose. And I feel like this is kind of the energy of your connection, perhaps, that like you might spend time just together with no purpose. Like just either maybe time in nature might be really valuable to the two of you, but just spending time together, playing, like especially if you have a more playful energy, which I think you probably do, just doing things that you really enjoy together and spending time together and just having fun, like bringing out that inner child in both of you, which I think is going to be really healing for everyone involved. But on that note, pile number 3, I'm going to leave this reading here. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If this reading resonated, I would love to know how in the comments. And if you enjoyed this reading, please give the video a like and subscribe to the channel. I would love to have you in future videos. If you would like a more personalized experience, I do have personal readings linked in the description box below on hopefully my new website, which I say hopefully because I'm hoping it's up by the time this video goes live. If not, it'll be up very soon and I will update the link. You can definitely check that out, check the site out. And if a reading is not right for you right now, but you do want to support the channel, I do have a donation link below. Donations are never expected, but always appreciated, and they go to support the growth of the channel. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you're having a wonderful day or night wherever you are in the world, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye. Hey, Pal 4. Welcome to your reading. Let's see what the energy of your soulmate is like. What is the energy of pile number 4's soulmate? What is the energy of pile number 4's soulmate? Okay, we've got 3 for you that flipped over. See if we can get a couple more. I feel like this one's really talking to me. Let's get you one more. This one. Okay. So pile number 4, we have the 4 of Cups, followed by the Knight of Wands reversed, the Knight of Swords, with the 5 of Swords reversed, and the 5 of Pentacles. Very interesting. Okay. So first of all, one thing I've been doing in these readings is using the uprights and reversals to kind of indicate how introverted or extroverted this person is. And your person has more uprights than reversals. So to me, they're a little bit more of an extrovert. So they do enjoy going out, but because we do have these 2 reversals, they also do enjoy staying in and like quality time, just the 2 of you, that kind of stuff. So I feel like they have a pretty good balance. They are a little more extroverted, but they are overall a pretty balanced introverted, extroverted energy. I also think it's really interesting for you. We've got 2 5s and we've got 2 Knights. So what this is telling me is this is really a person of change with these 2 5s. They are not afraid of change. They are not afraid to make changes in their life if something isn't working, if something isn't feeling right for them. They're also really good when change happens. So like if things change on them unexpectedly, they're able to roll with the punches really well. And I feel like that might be a really stabilizing presence for you. If you have changes happening or if you're going through changes together, they're just very adaptable to change. And with this Knight energy coming up, the Knight is the court card of action. So this is somebody who really takes action on things. They move things forward. If they have an idea, they are not afraid to explore it and to, again, eventually to take action on it, to see what happens, to see what it can become. They're not someone who gets stuck in the idea phase. And also it's interesting that for each of these, we have 1 upright and 1 reversal. So I feel like in each of these energies, they're really balanced about it. So it's like this idea with change. Yes, they do. I feel like they are someone who likes to reinvent themselves, but it's not chaotic. Like it's a very subtle and measured way. It's like, oh, they have this like nudge. I feel like there's a change. There's a shift in me. I want to explore. They take the time to explore it and then implement the changes kind of gradually. But then also too, like when change happens, again, this is where like they don't get caught up in it. There's a real balanced energy around that. And with this Knight energy, in terms of balance, I feel like, again, it's that they have this idea, like they might have a spark, they might have something that's really exciting and interesting to them, but they take the time to explore it before they act. So it's not this impulsive energy. It's a very balanced, measured, forward motion. Okay, so let's get into things a little bit more card by card. So here with the 4 of Cups, I feel like I really always find this 4 of Cups on this deck to be very interesting because we have this character who is very much in a meditative state. And I feel like your person, like I'm not sure they've always been this way, but I think by the time you are coming together, they are very calm. They do know how to go inward and ground their energy. And I think that's very much like it was something that was necessary because of their inclination to change and their inclinations to action. Like, I feel like there might have been times, you know how we talked about that this is balanced now? I think there might have been a point in their past where it was not so balanced and they had to work to balance these energies in them. But they have. That's what I'm getting with this Four of Cups, is they are really good at going inward. Now, also with the Four of Cups, this tends to be a card that comes up when it's like things kind of just aren't going your way. You're a little dissatisfied with how things are shaking out, and you're not seeing what's right in front of you. For them, I feel like they have reached periods of frustration in their life, and they've learned to go inward for those frustrations. So when they're feeling frustrated, instead of getting like external about like, why isn't this working? What am I missing? They go in, they go inward, they drop into meditation, they take a step back, and they connect with themselves first and foremost. And I think this is kind of just their energy in general. Like, before they make a decision, they might have an impulse, they might have an inclination, but they go inward to figure out, one, is this the right thing to do? Two, what's the best way to go about it? And I think it's really interesting that we have this, my hair got caught around my finger there, sorry. We have this arrow kind of moving upward, and I feel like they have learned that that is their best path forward. Is that when they can drop into themselves and slow the world down, that's how they move forward. So it's not through brute force. Like, they know that. They know that the answer of moving things forward, moving their life forward, isn't by forcing. It's by connecting. And I feel like they're going to be, again, like, they're really good in points of change, but also points of crisis, because they have learned to take the pause. And if you ever find yourself like kind of worked up about something going on in either your life or in your lives together, they're going to be really good at being like, okay, let's just take a breath. Like, let's just take a moment and kind of provide a little bit of grounding energy in that moment. Now, with the Knight of Wands reversed, I feel like this person has a lot of passion, but they're also very intentional about how they channel that passion. So when the Knight of Wands is upright, like, in general, this is a passionate character. Like, this is somebody who they do have that fire burning in them. In the upright, it's about moving things forward. It's about, like, they have that spark, they have that flame that has ignited within them, and they're just like, they fall into it. They move forward, they make things happen, they let that passion really fuel them. I do feel like your person does that to a degree, but they know how to, again, like, they're very intentional about this. Like, they feel the spark, they feel the fire, they're good at sitting with it. And this reversal is telling me that they really sit with it and sift through it and go like, how should I act? Again, it's this internalized energy where they sit with that passion, they sit with the spark, and then they get very intentional about how they move things forward. So if this is a romantic connection, like, I'm almost feeling like they might find a very instant or early spark with you, but they're not going to run in like guns blazing. It's going to be very intentional. You will see the progress. You will know of their interest, but it's going, again, like, intention just keeps coming through with this card. Is intention, intention, intention. This person's energy is incredibly intentional. It's passionate, but it is directed passion. Now, with the Knight of Swords, again, like, there is this energy of forward motion. We have this knight who is looking straight on at us, which to me is somebody who moves things forward. The Knight of Swords is, to me, the fastest moving knight in the deck. He really does take, again, it's this swift and decisive action. So he does move things forward. I feel like with the Knight of Wands, this is more with regard to the things that are really important to this person. So the things that are really important to them, like the things that really spark them, that's where they move very intentionally. Things that are kind of like next level. So we have the things that are most important to them, the things that are next level, things that are under that, which I'm kind of feeling like career. Like, I do think this person values their career, but it's more about what their career can do for them and how their career can support their life. I'm not so sure that their career is the thing that they are the most passionate about. So for them, I really feel like their career energy is like, that's where they take decisive action. That's where they move things forward. And I do think they actually have a lot of career success because I don't feel like they're too attached to their career. Like they have a healthy detachment. They have a plan and they're able to execute it. But because they're not too attached to any outcome, they're able to manifest some really powerful career changes and career shifts and career outcomes. So I feel like this person kind of also carries an energy of success with them, especially with career. But again, like that's not the thing that's most important to them. Like I do see them being well supported and feeling very comfortable. There's a confident energy here, but it's not something like if you ask them, I think they have a certain amount of pride in what they were able to accomplish, but they don't care that much about their career accomplishments. I mean, again, they have a certain amount of pride, but it's just not what's most important to them. It's not the thing that really lights them up. Now, with the Five of Swords reversed, when this card comes up in the upright, it's, to me, a card of like, yeah, you can get what you want, but at what cost? So it's kind of this, it's a card that kind of asks you to slow down and consider the consequences of your actions. And really asks you to go about things the right way. When this card comes up in the reverse, I feel like this person is actually really good at that. They're good at weighing the pros and cons, especially because we talked about the energy of change that they carry. They don't just create change for the sake of change. They actually weigh, is this going to be something that's really beneficial and valuable to me and to the people who would be affected by this change? Of course, we can't control all change, but the changes that they're in control of, they actually do weigh the pros and cons of it before they make a change. They aren't, again, there isn't this chaotic energy with them. It is very deliberate. So I feel like before they make a move, they really do step back and consider, okay, like, if I do this, if I move forward with this plan, how will people be affected? How will I be affected? How will my family be affected? If it's a business decision, how will employees be affected? There is just this energy of consideration that I'm getting with them, with this card in particular. And it's interesting, we can look at it in the upright or in the reverse, and how we have these swords that are like pointing at this character. I think I'm almost feeling each of these is a responsibility. I feel like they might have a good deal of responsibilities, but there's someone who can carry that weight. It's like, this is kind of just giving me the impression of like everyone's looking at you type of thing. And I think they actually do have a good number of people who are looking to them to make choices, again, to move things forward, to set the tone of a situation. And I think they're very good at that. They're good at showing up calmly, even in chaos. There's just a real, again, intention. There's just a real intentional nature to their energy that I think feels really good to be around, especially if this is someone that you're looking to for leadership for any capacity. I don't mean you literally, like a person would be looking to for leadership. And now with the Five of Pentacles, this is really interesting. I'm really being drawn to the moon here. With the Five of Pentacles, I feel like this person is really good at releasing things that just aren't working. Because the full moon, like we have a full moons are a time of release. And the Five of Pentacles typically can be a card of lack and scarcity, but I'm really not getting that energy from this person, especially with all the other cards we have coming up. If anything, I feel like it's like this person is not afraid of lack and scarcity. It's like that's why they are so willing to release things. They weigh the pros and cons, but they really trust that if they're letting go of the things that don't feel right to them, that they're going to be okay. Like even if they're letting go of a lot of money or a big business opportunity, they don't see that as a lack. They see that as this wasn't right. And also anytime we have nudity in tarot, which we have a little bit of here, that speaks to a certain level of vulnerability. So I actually feel like they're probably really good at being vulnerable. They're probably really good at saying like, this isn't working for me, or, can we make a change? Can we make a shift? Like having the hard conversations. And if you come to them with something, they're going to be really good at holding space for that. Because I love that we have these coins that are all ultimately leading to this vulnerability. So I feel like, and this could even be, it could also be a past energy where in the past they have had some financial struggle. They have struggled with lack and scarcity, but they've found their way through it. Because like I said, I feel like their career, finances, and abundance, they're really clear on the fact that that's not their priority. That's not the most important thing to them. And that's how they've been able to accumulate a certain amount of success. So this card coming out could also indicate that in the past, that's something that they have dealt with. But by the time you come into their lives or you come into each other's lives, this is going to have been resolved for them. But I think it's given them a certain amount of perspective and empathy. Like they're not one to judge because they have also struggled. All right, let's see what else we have for you in our oracle cards. What else can you tell us about the energy of pile number 4, soulmate? Let's get one more. Go. All right, first up, we've got Earthed, learning how to be human in a world that is not. Yeah, I feel like this has actually been part of their journey. Because like we talked about, like I do feel like they've had experiences that have given them a certain amount of empathy. So that's where they can show up with this non-judgment. Also, Earth is giving me a very grounded sense. And I feel like that has come up a little bit too, that they have these meditative techniques. They're able to take action and able to make change without it feeling chaotic. I really am just getting this like earth-rooted, grounded energy from them, which I think is really beautiful. And jump in, adventure, say yes to change. Yeah, this card to me is just big confirmation. They do jump in. They jump into change. They really see it as an opportunity, and they jump in to move things forward. Like this is someone who makes things happen. And with this adventure, I do think they have a little bit of an adventurous spirit. So they might enjoy weekend getaways, like kind of like last minute plans, but in a fun way, like surprise, like just deciding like, oh, I'm going to take Friday off and like go away for the weekend, like that kind of stuff, just like bringing more fun into their life. Like I do think, again, they're very intentional and they do have a certain amount of career success, but to them, again, it's more about how they can use that success to fund their life and to have fun with the people who matter most and the things that they care the most about. Two that came out here. Okay, first up we have disguise. So I feel like with this, I actually think they're pretty good at reading people. They can see through people's disguises. Again, I think it comes back to that intentionality that they are able to, I'm getting two messages with this actually. So I feel like one, yes, they can see through people's disguises. They can tell, like there's somebody who can tell if they're being lied to. Even if they can't quite put their finger on what it is, like they know when something's off and when they shouldn't fully believe what they're being told. I also feel like with the fact that we've got this chameleon, I do feel like they're a little bit of a social chameleon. Like I feel like they're good at showing up. Again, it's that extroverted, like they do have that extroverted energy. I feel like they can go to a party and like be who they need to be in that environment. They can, they're very charismatic. They're very engaging. Even though we say disguise, I don't feel like it's disingenuine. Like it's just a facet of their personality that they're able to step into. They're able to really blend into social situations and make people feel seen and heard. Again, like they're a good party guest is kind of what I'm getting. And next we have consume. And again, with this, we have both vultures with these skulls. To me, like this is more of that like death energy. So that's change and transformation. So I do feel like, again, they're very good at change. Like this is coming up as really being a big thing. And we also have another triangle going upward. So again, more upward movement, upward momentum. And with consume, what I'm getting, I feel like they are very intentional about what they are consuming. I think in all forms, like I feel like they live a pretty healthy lifestyle. So they have a pretty healthy diet for the most part. I don't think they're obsessed about it, but like they're just conscious of what they consume. I also am getting this energy of being conscious of like digital consumption and really what they're taking in. Like they understand how valuable time is and they're not interested in wasting theirs on things that they don't really care about. Again, it comes back to like they're just so focused on what matters to them. They have so much clarity around what's really important to them. And that's where they want to be. So this isn't someone who's going to be wasting time. And, you know, you can do, maybe, I don't know if wasting time is, they're going to see it as wasting time. I think that's what it is. Because I don't want to say it's necessarily wasting time if you're enjoying it. But to them, like scrolling social media is a waste of time. And I think sometimes it can be for all of us, but you can also consume social media intentionally, I believe. But this person does not see it that way. Like they see scrolling social media as a waste of time. That's not how they want to spend their time. That's not what they want to be consuming. So they are just very mindful of what they are consuming, what they're bringing into their world. And also too, I feel like with going off of that, I feel like they're very mindful with what they're bringing to their people. So they're going to be mindful of the type of energy they are bringing to you. I think that's part of why they're mindful of what they're consuming, is because they don't want to bring anything into their world, not just for themselves, but for the people they care about that could be potentially like harmful or just not really supportive. Like overall, this person just feels really considerate. There's some real consideration energy here. All right, first up, we've got strength. When your roots are deep, you need not fear the storm. And yeah, I feel like this person does have really deep roots. Like they, again, there is this like this passion and this drive, but in a balanced way. So this is somebody who is not afraid to do the work to plant the deep roots, to really nurture something and grow it. And I do think they have a great deal of strength. Again, it's that grounded energy. Like when we talk about roots, they are deep in the ground. They are the anchors. And I feel like this person just has a lot of strong anchored energy that they can bring into their environment, but also to the lives of the people that they are interacting with. So you in your life. And journey, branch out into new worlds. Yeah, this is like I'm feeling more of that adventure energy. Like that's the change. Like they like to explore, they like to see new places, do new things. To them, I think they really see life as a journey. And they see all the beautiful potential. And I'm kind of just getting this energy of like, again, it's like they want to go on adventures. And I feel like, especially if you're their soulmate, whether it is romantic or platonic, they're going to want to go on adventures with you. And I think they can really take you to some really fun and incredible places. But on that note, pile number 4, I'm going to end this reading here. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If this reading resonates, I would love to know how in the comments. And if you enjoyed this reading, please give the video a like and subscribe to the channel. I would love to have you in future videos. If you would like a personalized experience, you can always get a reading, book a personal reading in the description box below. Hopefully, this will be on my new website by the time this video goes live. I say hopefully because I'm still building it when I'm filming this, but hopefully it'll be done. And if it's not, it'll be done very soon after, and I will update that link. So you can go ahead and check that out. And also, if a reading is not right for you at this time, I do have a donation link, and donations are never expected, but they're always appreciated, and they just go to support the growth of the channel. But thank you so much for being here. I hope you're having a wonderful day or night wherever you are in the world, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.